Becca. I'll introduce Joanne. Joanne Bilsland has worked with Bluebird Care in Edinburgh for 3 months. Her first ever job after leaving school actually was a community care worker, and she's had varied career since then, working in social care office, child protection department for her local council, and she's also experienced nursing home placements after studying for nursing 2 years in Edinburgh at Napier University. So delighted that Joanne's here. I suppose, Joanne, I know that you're involved in delivering palliative and end-of-life care for people in their own homes, and actually it's a significant part of your day-to-day activities. Can you share with me what that involves?
Yeah, I should tell you about my main customer. I'll call her Margaret. That's not her real name. I'll protect her identity. But she's an 80-year-old lady who's recently had a few strokes. I think she's had 3 in succession. And she's just managed to come home because of this care package after spending about 5 or 6 months in hospital. So I have the pleasure of spending 35 hours a week with her, 4 times a day. So I've got to know her really well, as has my co-carer. She spends the same amount of time with her as well. And it's just been a pleasure to be transforming her end-of-life experience that she wants to have at home. She doesn't want to be in a care home, and she doesn't want to be in hospital. She wants to be at home with her own surroundings, so we're helping her do that.
What does it feel like? Can you describe what it's like arriving at somebody's door, say at 7 o'clock in the morning? What goes through your mind first of all, Joanne?
You have to be prepared. I have to be prepared from the moment I put my key in the door. I have to mentally prepare myself for the unexpected. So I open the door and I say, "Good morning," and I don't get a reply because the lady can't talk because of her stroke. So she has no voice, so she can't say good morning to me. So I just have to really strain my ears to listen out for her, and to see if I can hear a creak in her bed or whatever. And I go through to her room, and when I see that she's okay, that she's got through the night okay, and that she's alive, I always feel like really relieved. I always feel like, "Oh, good, you're okay." But I just change that into sort of, "Oh, good morning." So she must think I'm super chirpy every morning, but it's just I'm relieved to see that she's been safe through the night and that she's okay. But yeah, I really do have to mentally prepare myself for an upsetting scene, or for this person being in pain when I walk in, or anything like that. So just get in the mindset before I walk in, and keep that all the way through the visit.
And maintain that throughout, which can be challenging, especially as you build relationships with people in their own homes. So there's the emotional side to Joanne's job, but there's also the practical care and the technical and clinical skills which we know frontline workers are delivering day in, day out. Joanne, could you describe some of the practical and clinical skills you're involved in?
Yeah, the main lady that I care for has aphasia and dysphagia, which means she can't talk and she can't eat because she can't swallow. So the main task for her is assisting her to eat with a peg tube, and I had special training for that, tailored to her and tailored to her routines. So that's the main thing, is keeping her nutritionally well with the peg feeding 4 times a day. But as well as that, I help her with washing, getting dressed in the morning. All of these tasks she wouldn't be able to do herself. She wouldn't be able to get out of bed. So I help her with that, but I try and do it in a way that she feels like she's doing it herself, that maybe I'm not even there. I'm helping her, I'm not doing it for her, I'm just there with her, letting her get on with her day, and choosing what she'd like to wear, and choosing what she'd like to do with her day as well. Like, if she'd like to stay in bed, then she can. If she wants to go out for a walk, then that's what we'll do. I'll take her out in the wheelchair.
And I know that you also make sure that she enjoys things that she enjoyed throughout her life. For example, eating.
Yes.
Maybe just share.
Because Margaret obviously doesn't have to physically eat anything, but we do that. We prepare, we heat up soup for Margaret that her daughters have made for her. Her daughter makes a huge batch of different vegetable soups and puts them in the freezer. We heat them up, and sometimes Margaret will just have one tiny tablespoon, but she just enjoys the taste so much, and she'll have that mouthful for a good 10 minutes. And it's just about her being able to experience the taste. She doesn't need that because she's getting her nutrition from the peg feed. But it's just all those memories that is stirring up for her of making the soup for her family, and now her family are doing that for her, and I'm able to help when they're not around by just heating it up and helping her eat. So that's a great pleasure.
So we know from the focus groups that delivering palliative and end-of-life care is challenging. But what do you find difficult about delivering end-of-life care?
Definitely seeing the physical decline in a person's body, definitely working with the elderly. When their minds are sharp and their bodies are letting them down, I find that terribly sad. And also the cognitive deterioration that can put some people in very vulnerable positions. I've seen some very intelligent people picking up a remote control when the phone's been ringing, just, terribly sad situations like that. But it's just sort of realising it's just the physical body, it's not the whole essence of the person, and that helps me to deal with that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, Joanne.
Yeah.
How do you manage, and what helps you personally to do this very difficult job?
Well, first of all, it's the immediate support from the office. For example, if I have an upsetting situation on a shift where I'm possibly worried that my customer isn't going to make it through the night, which can be very upsetting because I'm going to lose a friend who I've been spending 35 hours a week with. And I've witnessed, families saying goodbye to each other, mothers and daughters kissing each other goodbye for the last time. All I have to do is pick up the phone and speak to the manager on call at Bluebird. They'll answer straight away. So as soon as I get in my car after a visit, I'll phone up and I'll just say straight away, hi, I'm feeling a bit upset. Can we just have a chat about what's just happened? I'm worried about my customer. I don't think she's going to make it through the night. And then manager says, oh, that's, oh dear, that sounds awful. But sometimes they can surprise you. It really doesn't matter what she said. It's just having another voice and just being able to let it out and talk about it. And then knowing that someone is looking out for me, because they usually say, call me in the morning, let me know how you're feeling, let me know how Margaret's getting on as well. And it's just knowing that there's that follow-up, and it's not just with me. It's not stuck inside me, I've got it out.
And you find, have you got beliefs or spirituality that helps you as well, Joanne?
Yeah, I do. I'm very spiritual, not religious, but I respect all religions that my customers have. But I'm very spiritual, and I believe that our souls are eternal, and I believe in reincarnation. So that helps me to deal with death. I don't find it scary at all. Because I feel like we're on a constant journey throughout life, and it's our physical bodies that die, but not our souls. So that helps me to cope with the death of my customers.
I had the privilege of going to Bluebird Care and talking to Joanne, and it's really evident that you love your job. Could you maybe finish up and tell us why you love your job so much? Yeah,
well, it's the job satisfaction. I'm not doing it for any other reason. It's the total job satisfaction and making a difference in people's lives. And I wanted a job where I could have direct interaction with patients and families, and that is exactly what I get. So it's great. I think there's a future in care now. I think it's a career now, whereas when I first started in community care 13 years ago, it wasn't a career. It was just a sort of part-time odd job, a few hours here and there. But now you can actually you can have career progression, and it's very exciting. And I get to learn about life. I see humanity at its best, and I see all these touching family milestone moments. It's just...
And I'm just aware time's running out, but I know Joanne wanted to say something that's important to her as part of this job, and that's her grandmother.
Yes, it's I love this job because every time I spend time with the elderly, it's reminding me of the time I spent with my grandmother. So it's relaxing and grounding for me. And with every lovely older person that I spend time with, I'm that granddaughter again, so that's... it's lovely for me. So, yeah.
I'd like to say a huge thanks for Joanne to come on the stage and bring up 200 people.